She's silent until long after it's faded from the rearview mirror, and then she clears her throat and finally looks back at me again. "We're going back one day, right?" "Sure, if you want." "Good, because we didn't even get to do, like, a nickel." "Quarter." "A quarter of the super cool stuff we should have done." "Oh yeah? Like, did she really want to say, like, did she we didn't even get to do a nickel of the what?" I don't even know where to begin to describe that, because a quarter is like, sure that it can be like a quarter, like, as in money, but quarter is like, it's 1/4 of a whole, and she wanted to describe a piece of a whole of its entirety, and for some reason she said nickel instead of quarter. What? Marina, please, that was a joke, right? Please tell me that was a joke. "Oh yeah? Like what?" "Even if I do live like a gross hermit, I know what Vegas has to offer, but I like seeing her excited. There's always a genuine spark of wonder that's ignited when she is. It might have to do with her lack of experience, but I like to think that she'd be the same regardless." "Well, there's this pirate stunt show that looks really cool. I heard about another show with fountains and lights that shoots water way up into the air. And ooh," she spreads her arms far apart and scrunches her face, giving herself a double chin. "I want to try every single buffet in town." Yeah, let's not make that double chin into a triple chin. That's a lofty goal, Marina. "But we're rich now." "Again, luckily." I thump her head and squish her down with the palm of my hand. "And we almost lost all of that in a single day, so you should know how easy it is to blow it." "Well, I think it would be romantic. We could rent out a hotel room, order a really nice bottle of wine, and just cuddle by the window and look at the lights." Wow, she's describing the perfect night. A wistful look gleams in her eyes as she gazes out the window into the vast desert night, sighing like I just stepped out of the royal carriage and swept her off her feet. Never mind the fact that Marina has probably never tried wine in her life and would spit it out the second it touched her lips. That does sound really nice. Guess I have some high expectations to live up to. I've always had them, but now it feels more official. Now, more than ever, I'm obligated to keep her happy and safe. Those thoughts occupy my mind for an hour or so as we traverse the desert highway. Marina's come back to staring out the window at the barely visible roadside. We pass a sign right off to the side of our deserted lane. We're pushing 80, so we almost miss it, but I catch a quick glimpse as we speed by. Nothing special, just a dusty sheet of aluminum with a picture of poppies and 3 words printed on it. "Welcome to California." Right, we gotta find ourselves a hotel, just so I can sing the song. Hotel California. It's gone before I can even process it. Huh? I guess we're in California. It doesn't look like Marina noticed. And why would she? We've passed several state lines, and it was never a big deal then. No welcoming party or even a government checkpoint. And that suits me just fine. It's like she was expecting them to stand near the state line, and the moment they crossed it, like fireworks come bursting out in the air, like, "Yeah, welcome to California." She hasn't brought up her surprise anymore either. Whatever it was. Probably better to just let her forget about that. I feel like their surprise has kind of been spoiled by the whole... At least not the surprise itself, but the whole, everything kind of around it, because she was planning for it to be, she was planning for something to be a surprise, but the surprise is also kind of a surprise, if you know what I mean, She wanted to give us something that we didn't know about, and the whole process of going out for several hours, separating, that was part of the surprise, or at least, part of it as well. But that's been totally ruined with the whole Maria business, with her trying to swindle, kind of, Marina's part of the gold or all of our gold, but we got it back now, so it's all good. But I feel like at least partly the mood of giving the surprise is kind of a little bit ruined. But that doesn't mean the day is over yet, and the places that geezer would always yak on about may as well be stumbled onto my brain. Hey, you trust me? Her head perks up, and she turns away from the window, answering without delay. Of course I do. Why? Just checking. And that's that. No more questions. Just blind trust. Alright, this is perfect time for our plan that we've been working on for so long. We're gonna sell Marina. Don't know to who or where. To the first and highest bidder. I continue driving. Of course not. We would never sell Marina. We never could. Of course not. Just a joke, people. I never could do it. I continue driving, eventually branching off onto an exit. Another thing I don't think Marina notices. Soon, budding lights start popping up in the distance. Typical yellows and whites, barely hovering above the road with one exception. Towering on the horizon, outlined in neon red with digital numbers climbing towards the sky, is a giant monstrosity of a thermometer. It caps off above the middle, reaching temperatures all the way up to 62 degrees. Finally, it dawns on Marina. Her head twists towards me like an owl. Her eyes just as wide as one. I can totally imagine, you know, her head or her body just staying still and her head is like a full 360. Like, oh shit, where are we? It's like a real owl. Amber? What's going on? She feigns concern at first, but her voice curls up mid-sentence, unable to hide her smile any longer. You said you trust me, right? And I do. Marina tilts over and rubs up on my shoulder. I go dead stiff. Again, feeling the weight of that trust and responsibility. This might not be the perfect time to go dead stiff as you're driving. We drive into town, which, as far as I can tell, is just one long street. Old, beat-up gas stations and fast food joints line the side of the road, separated by an occasional diner. The thermometer is tucked away, hidden in a corner, but it may as well be in the center of the universe. The rest of the world zooming by on the interstate. I pull into the lot by the thermometer, its only neighbor being a small shack. The sound of the ignition dwindles down to nothing, leaving the RV parked wherever. I'm the first one to get out, craving the sweet, stationary concrete as I stretch my legs. I feel like people kind of know what this place is, but obviously me not being from America, I'm completely oblivious. I don't know where the fuck we are besides it being California. Wobbling in front of the thermometer, I flop my hands at my sides, dotting our arrival. Here we are, the world's tallest thermometer. Marina steps out of the RV, eyes sparkling, mouth wide open in awe, her face frozen in time. She reaches into the motorhome and pulls out her camera, a single flash shooting out from it as she winds the camera for the next shot. Is it really that special? The world's tallest, was it tallest? Yeah, tallest thermometer. It's cool, I guess. I don't know. What the fuck are we supposed to do with this? But to be honest, that can be said about pretty much anything that's you know, that's like a heavy tourist attraction. Like, what the fuck can you actually do with the Eiffel Tower, for example? Not much, except look at it, take pictures with it to brag to people like, hey, look, I've been to the Eiffel Tower. And what else? I mean, you can kind of climb it to get a nice view. Okay, so maybe the Eiffel Tower isn't the best example, but something similar like this, right? It's just, it's a tourist attraction for being tall and for looking like a thermometer. Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I'm not sure if I would take a picture with this or be like really like wow. But apparently, I mean, maybe there's a significant meaning behind it, right? That I just don't know about as a poor European pleb. I thought you might like it. A smug grin finds a home on my face as I revel in the pride and satisfaction of knowing I did something to make her smile. Except, she's not smiling. She's staring, not at the thermometer now, but me. A near lifeless gaze, cloaked by the dimming headlights of the motorhome. Marina? Readying her stance, she pushes her feet off the ground and charges towards me. If we're doing this, then we're doing it right. Wait, ma. Too late. Before I can even finish my plea, she swings around my neck and snugly brings me to her side, swishing out the camera and aiming it right at us. Selfie time. Hey, Amber. Her finger inches closer to the button. Don't do it! Say cheese? She draws out the word to an excruciating length. I struggle to break free, but she just squeezes me tighter. I'm warning you! Hey, cheese! She bends in and presses her lips against my cheek. Hold and flash. Oh, that's so cute. Although it kind of looks more like she's putting her nose into our ear, or in Amber's ear, and then sniffing like... Huh? Where did she get that drink from? I stare at the camera, mind blank. My non-reaction drawing out a cute giggle from her. And then it hits me. A thought so mortifying and embarrassing that it shades my skin a pink and red gradient. She thinks this is cute. At this point, I'm butter, or clay from Marina's perspective. Aww. And that's exactly what she treats me as, molding me into new positions as she snaps more photos. I don't know, like in the left photo, the second photo that appeared, Amber didn't really seem that interested. But in the third one, it actually kind of looks like Amber's kind of posing, like, you know, looking to the side into the camera, giving that sneaky side peek, side glance. You're starting to like it, Amber. She is so happy. I mean, look at that. Look at the smile on Marina's face. She is definitely happy. Before she whines for the next photo, I nudge her head with mine. She nudges back, both of us cuddling against each other as she snaps the next photo. She takes several more shots, each one a little more gooberish and drenched in cheesy romantic goo than the last. Aww. We can't see that one. I can't see the middle one too well. I'll probably die if anyone ever sees these. But with any luck, Marina's constant bouncing will hopefully make a few of these come out fuzzy. The right one, in the bottom right picture, Amber, I feel like she's trying to smile, but she ends up actually looking kind of, I don't know, something about her eyes, it makes her look a little bit sad. Like if you were to just put your finger over her mouth, her eyes actually look a little bit sad, don't they? But I think this is her attempt at like trying to smile and pose for the picture. Alright guys, which picture is your favorite? I gotta check this out. The first one was definitely like the surprise picture. Amber wasn't ready for that one. The second one, Amber's like, whatever. Third was definitely, yeah, she's definitely posing there. And the fourth one, I feel like the fourth one, the one on the left, is actually the most normal one. Amber's like looking straight up into the camera. Marina rather, has a rather cute smile, just looking straight up into the camera. The fifth one got cock blocked by the text bar, which in some visual novels you can remove it. But in this one, I don't think I can. No, if I press escape, then you just see the shit tons of save files that I have. So, even right click, no, that's the same freaking thing. Alright, so yeah, apparently I can't remove the chat box, apparently, fortunately. But the last picture, I mean, Marina looks really, really happy, as usual. But here she actually has, you know, she's smiling so, you know how, if you are really happy, that you smile so bright that your eyes appear to be closed? That happens to a lot of Asians. It's more of a rare occurrence for, you know, for Americans or just any other ethnicity for that to happen. But the fact that she's smiling so bright that her eyes are closed, unless it was because of the flash, but I don't think so. She's a photo expert, okay? This is definitely because her smile is so bright that her eyes are closing. That's just how you know Marina is so freaking happy. And yeah, I'll describe what Amber looks like on the last picture. So yeah, which one is your favorite? I guess I guess I gotta go with the third or the fourth, so top right or top left. Oh, that's a pretty close one. I just like the fact that Amber's like, you know, she's actually standing pretty cool there, looking to the side of the camera. But the best photo or couple picture is definitely the fourth one, I think. Still, I think I might love this. Like, a lot. When we first met, I didn't think I'd ever be, what the fuck? I didn't think I'd ever be understand the naive ball of, what the hell is that sentence? I didn't think I'd ever be able to understand the naive, I think that the word able is missing, so we'll just roll with that. I didn't think I'd ever be able to understand the naive ball of energy, just looking for some help. In a lot of ways, I still don't. I drove by at such a perfect time. Who even knows what would have happened to her exactly if some other sleazeball picked her up? Thinking about it still drives me nuts. That's just one of those moments where you just feel like, you know, some people might not believe in faith. I'm pretty skeptical about it too, but this is one of those moments, you know, in life, if it does happen, where you just kind of start to think like, you know, maybe it does exist. Maybe the universe has a plan for me after all. But still, those types of things don't seem nearly as big as they used to. Even almost losing the treasure to Maria was just a sizzling drop in the frying pan. If anything, I'm more upset that I wasn't there to help her when it went down. After all, that's why I'm here. To help and protect her. She's the protector of Marina. She makes me so happy. With my hand now wrapped around Marina, I clench her tighter, only for my hand to be met with an adorable gurgling rumble transmitted from her stomach. We both look down at the source, her with a bashful sort of terror, and me with amused disbelief. Even after all that food at the buffet? Yeah, I feel like the amount of food she ate, she wouldn't be hungry for another 2 days, but we're talking about Marina here. She's pretty much always hungry. I can't help it. You're a bottomless pit. The Mariana Trench. Oh my god, that's so deep. Amber, please. That one wasn't even clever. I kinda liked it. It was okay. I'll give it 6 out of 8. I cackle with glee, tossing her keys to the RV as I walk over to the nearby shack. I'm just messing with you, babe. Go lock up. We'll grab a bite and sleep here for the night. Aw, see, we're gonna sleep in a hotel in California. The shack is sad and abandoned. The cute logo of a little chef carrying an oversized bun all but faded away. I peek inside the browning windows. It's more of the same, rusty and decaying. Outlines of tables and booths are imprinted in dust, while the ones built into the walls were just left to rot. It was always just a side thing he mentioned when talking about the thermometer, but not being able to experience everything he mentioned feels wrong. Like I'm not doing right by him. Alright, I totally freaking forgot that like, you know, that the significant meaning for Amber behind this is her grandfather, right? He told her about this location, so that's why she visited. Okay, at least that makes sense. Damn. Looks like that's one more thing I can check off your list. Marina waltzes into the diner, keeping the door open for me as we scurry in from the breeze entryway. Immediately, she's drawn to the claw machine in the corner, filled to the brim with non-specific and unlicensed stuffed animals. This is so Marina, I feel like, you know? We're coming here for dinner, or for food, even though she was the one that was extremely hungry, right? Her eyes immediately go to something that's like entirely unrelated to what we came here for, the claw machine. Her eyes glitter as she tries to get me to notice the glass box of wonders. Coming from anyone else, this action would be subtle, maybe a few quick glances at most. Coming from Marina, not so much. Instead, she repeatedly swings her head in the direction of the machine, like she's trying to form a giant crescent moon with her neck. But I know Marina well enough now, well enough to know exactly which one she wants. Snuggled tight between a fuzzy ball with googly eyes and a lion with a crown lies the holy grail. A gray wolf with a polka dot bow tie. What? A wolf with a bow tie? Unfortunately for her, our waiter is already waving us over to our seats. Marina stares into the class, her foggy reflection lining up with the wolf. I take her hand and lead her to the booth. Once there's some distance between us and the waitress, I lower my voice. Don't worry, I'll give it a whirl after we eat. Marina, however, can't take a hint and blurts out her response, alerting every weary soul in the diner. Wow, you actually know how to win at those? I've never been good at any of them. A counter lined with Jumbo clones. Oh my god, please don't bring up Jumbo ever again. That guy was the creepiest mother trucker I've ever seen. A counter lined with Jumbo clones. Just imagine that. Oh my god. Like actually just multiple Jumbos inside this diner. No, please, no. Turn around and glare at us before shaking their heads and returning to their meals. Yeah, Marina, you shouldn't say that out loud. What if someone actually heard that and now, to spite us, is actually going to go to the claw machine to win what Marina wants? Oh well. Of course I do. You know how many of these diners I went to as a kid? Do these things actually only show up at diners, or, you know, those claw machines? Because they always come here whenever we have the, I guess the word is fun fair. We have them like every couple of months here in the city. And yeah, I usually try. I'm decent at it. A couple of tries and I am able to win a stuffed animal. Because I remember one time, that was actually a couple of years ago, where we went out with a whole group and we returned with like 20 stuffed animals. I don't know why the fuck we were even competing over who could catch the most stuffed animals in those claw machines, but yeah, most people didn't even want the ones that they caught, so I ended up going back home with like 8 of them, or 9, even though I only caught 3 or 4 myself. When you eat dinner at the same place almost every day, you get good, fast. Wow, you're like a claw goddess. Oh yeah, you're gonna feel my claw later. I don't know what that means. Damn right. Marina ogles me like the claw goddess I am as we take our seats at the booth. I gladly accept her glory and praise. It's kinda easy to impress Marina, cause we didn't even do anything. We just said that we're good at it and she already calls us the claw goddess. Like usually I'm a person that's like, alright, show me, you know? I want to see it in action first before believing what the person actually says. Not that I don't believe them if they say it, but I'm like, you know, I'm gonna be way more blown away if they actually give me a demonstration of their skill than just flat out only say that they're good at it. But yeah, we'll do it after dinner. I can wait. I can wait before calling her the claw goddess myself. The waitress flops the menus on our table and silently waits for us to order our drinks. Just coffee for me. With her eyes glazing over, she turns to Marina. What kind of shakes do you have? The waitress reaches her wrinkly hands across the table and tosses the dessert menu in front of Marina. She's like, oh my god, you did the first thing you want to order is desserts? But that's also typical Marina. She flips through the menus and strains her eyes shut, focusing on what very well may be the most important decision of her life. What dessert to get? Yep, definitely the most important decision. Amber, you got coffee, right? Right. Then that's what I'll get. What? Overflowing with certainty, she stares at the waitress and gives her a direct, confident command. I'll have the coffee shake. Extra whipped cream, yeah, put more sugar in it too. And milk. The waitress doesn't even bother to write this down, instead dragging her body back to her tomb in the kitchen. You know that shake isn't going to taste the same as my coffee, right? It's gonna be a ton of ice cream and cheap coffee flavoring. Yeah. But at least I gotta try it, for your sake. Why would you choke down a crappy shake for my sake? A shake for my sake. You do everything for me. Everything. Of course I do. That's my job as protector of Marina. That is officially our title now, Protector of Marina. A stiff chuckle slips out from under her breath. Right. But I want to do things for you too. It's funny that the thing that she wants to do for us is this, she's like making a compromise. I want to eat ice cream, I want to eat a dessert, but hey, Amber likes coffee flavored, so you know what? I'm gonna eat a coffee flavored ice cream or shake. I mean, it's cute, because she's actually, even though it's not something that you might think means a lot, but it just shows that she's at least trying to make some sort of effort of showing that she's willing and wanting to do something for Amber, So even though it might seem silly and weird, it has a meaning behind it, so it counts for something. So you're ordering the coffee shake as a cosmic favor? You're losing me, Mare. She whines, momentary frustration seeping onto her face. No, not like that. It's silly, but I want to poke around in your mind a little. That way, I can do favors and help. So I guess it's not just for your sake, but for both our sakes. She smiles and rests her head to the side, as if expecting my shoulder to be there like always. Realizing she's only leaning on air, Marina blinks, then tries to play it off with a tiny cough. I can totally see that scene happening in my mind like right now, as she just, she tilts her head to the side and like, oh shit, there's nothing there. Did anybody see it? I saw that. Before I can take my teasing to more exciting places, the waitress returns from the kitchen, barely managing to balance our drinks on the platter as my coffee splashes everywhere. She doesn't seem to care. Wow, great service here. She places our drinks on the table, then limps out her notepad and pen to take our orders. Thanks, but I'll stick with the coffee. Marina is too distracted by the shake to notice. Her eyes climb up the tower of extra whipped cream as it twirls to the ceiling, rivaling the thermometer outside. Snap to! What do you want? Oh! She opens up the big menu and flips through the pages multiple times, front to back, side to side, even upside down, repeating the process every time. I don't think it said upside down, but we'll roll with it. Before we miss the festival, Mare. I know, but there's so much to choose from. I have to be picky. You didn't have a problem vacuuming up everything at the buffet. Marina drops the menu. If it were a few pounds heavier, I'm pretty sure she would have dropped it on my feet. Handing the menus to the waitress, she leans over the table, inches away from my face. She places her order, burning holes in pupils. I'll have the pancake salad. Didn't she say she couldn't look or even eat pancakes anymore for weeks? Dead serious. The waitress wobbles away, somehow not collapsing on her way back to the kitchen. I try not to burst out laughing at Marina, but it doesn't work. The cracks are showing. Stilted snorts and spurts of snickering keep leaking out. Marina's cheeks puff out, getting brighter as I bubble over. Why do you have to tease me about everything, Amber? I break. My laugh echoes across the diner. Again, we're met with glares, but I don't even care. Fine. Maybe I won't share the treasure with you after all. I wave off her empty threat and settle down. I'm sorry. It's just that... Done laughing, I rest my chin on the table and start fumbling with the salt and pepper shakers. That's what Gramps used to order, all the time. Marina has already reverted back to her usual self, watching me pass the salt and pepper back and forth, like she wants to join in too. It's so weird. Just 2 huge pancakes with eggs, bacon, and ham smashed in the middle, things drenched in syrup. That sounds super tasty though. I chuckle and slide her the pepper. I'm sure you'll love it. Now it's just a salt shaker sliding between my hands. He never eats the eggs, always just passes them on to me. They're so gross, just scrambled, and cold and sticky. I always tell him no, but the dork just laughs and says he's gonna keep egging me on. Her grandpa actually sounds like a really fun dude to hang around with. Every single time. Like, kind of the old, he makes us the kind of, the dad's jokes sort of things, but later on I feel like that's something when you're little, it's like, oh shit, that's so lame. But I feel like the older I get, the more I start to appreciate puns like that more and more. Even though I'm not a dad, so I'm technically not allowed to make dad jokes. Marina laughs at the stupid joke. I laugh too. We would just end up bringing it home in a box. And when it went bad, he would just take it out of the fridge and say, "That's all, yolks." See, that's what... Oh god. Like, it was the most clever freaking thing. She laughs even harder at that one. I think I do too. I keep my eyes focused on the shaker, sliding it faster and faster. When we go home, you two really need to get together. And me... Uh-oh, what did she say? Did she for a second thought that the her Grams was still alive? Because that sentence makes it sound like she thinks so. What? The salt shaker trips on my pinky and topples over, spilling a few grains of salt. Marina is tense, but forces a smile anyway. She sighs. We both look down and go silent. I think I'm gonna head back to the RV. I get up and reach into my pocket, placing a bill on the table. Amber! Don't worry. I'll be fine. Just need some time. Leaving Marina behind me, I walk out of the diner. Don't leave Marina behind with all the jumbo clones.